This whole theme brings us back to the art of not knowing and to the therapeutic art, since we are constantly in a dynamic interactions with our patients. In this context, we have to take care the entire time that there's a free space within us that takes the patient's world inward. Its suffering, its silent cry, can stay within us and can be correctly returned to the patient. Many patients come to us because this exact process was not available to them. People who received no sanctuary and no meaning either. The patient arrives with a certain lack or deficiency and needs someone to take over. Whenever the patient is in crisis, the therapist has to be able to contain it, remembering that the patient cannot tell him what his suffering is about. The patient cannot verbalize it. It would be much easier for the therapist if the patient could say, "I suffer from this, this and this. My crisis is this." The patient must introduce more primitive elements, non-verbal components of his crisis, and communicate them in a pre-verbal way. The therapist should try to be receptive to this type of communication, be in touch with the unknown, bear the frustration that this implies, and give back to the patient something it feels to be true. This offering can hold the patient's mind from within, provide him with a sense of unity and coherence. The art of not knowing is related to the fine possibility of maintaining a dynamic and continuous adaptation between the container and the contained. This delicate adequacy is challenged all the time. Soon, the adaptation can change, even collapse, to the extreme possibilities of container suffocates contained and contained explodes container. This can happen both within the therapist's mind and between the therapist and the patient. These two extreme possibilities also have a tendency to be reactive to each other. A suffocation threat often triggers an explosive reaction, and an explosion threat often triggers a suffocation attempt. Then the ability to constantly return the encounter to the delicate possibility of a creative interaction between container and contained is an essential part of the therapeutic art. Despite the risk of a catastrophic change and a related institutionalized saturated mind, to allow a new idea, a messianic idea, a thought in a search of a thinker to be found and get the encounter closer to a possible transformation in awe. We try to participate in the creation of a space between stagnation and fragmentation, one that represents truth and growth.